Hello, welcome to Prime Business with me, Pius Kojo Baka. To our very first story, Ghana's program with the International Monetary Fund is expected to undergo review every 6 months before additional disbursements are made to the government. Resident representative of the International Monetary Fund, Dr. Leandro Medino, who disclosed this, says this is to ensure that the program stays on course and the necessary conditions are met by the government. He has been speaking on a yet-to-be-aired interview on PM Express Business Edition this Thursday.
This week, a 3-year, $3 billion US dollar extended credit facility was approved by the IMF Executive Board, and a $600 million US dollar has been disbursed to Ghana.
So as we speak right now, Doc, again, help me out with some education. That have we met all the requirements for this program, since or some are still being more of a conditional approval and certain things are supposed to be worked on and all the rest, or some will come in the second review and all the rest, especially with some who say that in respect to in Ghana, we're still working on finalizing the domestic direction program, also engaging our external creditors as well.
Let me tell you, all the requisites by the authorities and what was needed from the international community to be able to go to the board has been met, and therefore the board was able to approve the program request. But this is just the beginning. And as Governor Addison said, there is a lot of work ahead of us. This is a 3-year program that is very rich in policies and reforms with the objectives of restoring the macroeconomic stability, ensuring debt sustainability, and laying the foundations for a higher and more inclusive growth. So the work has just started.
Help me out for the sake of our viewers as well. So it's supposed to be a 3-year program. When does the program officially take off? Was it when the board approved it, or when the disbursement was made, or when Ghana actually starts drawing down the funds? So when the staff level agreement was reached and all the rest. Help us out when you talk about the 3-year program and when officially kicks off.
The implementation has essentially started actually when we were discussing the program that could be supported by the IMF, and we see already some results. For example, inflation came down from 54% in December last year to 41% in April this year. In terms of the milestones and the timeline, a program is designed to have a review every 6 months. This means that every 6 months we are expected to go to the executive board for approval of the review, and then a disbursement can be made. So in terms of the next steps, we are really looking forward to completing the first review, and that is expected to be completed, which means be taken to the board for approval in November of this year.
So, and there's some clarity that I wanted. So does it mean that the program took off when the board approved Ghana's program, or the program took off when the disbursement was made? So if you are doing in terms of the calculation wise, that should be the test. I hope I'm not mixing the jargons here. The test date or for it to be calculated going forward.
In terms of the formality, in a nutshell, I could say discussions with authorities, reaching staff level agreement.
Okay.
Getting the conditions that are needed from staff level agreement to take the program to the board. That's the official approval. When you take the program to the IMF board, it's approved, and each time you have approval, you have automatically a disbursement. And then you have test dates that are the test dates that you're going to be looking at when you try to complete a review. For example, in the case of the first review that is expected to be completed in November, the test date is going to be end June. So we're all going to be looking at variables at end June.
And the full interview will be aired on Thursday here on PM Express Business Edition on the Joy News channel. Let's move on to some other stories. And the Ghana Revenue Authority is joining hands with other West African tax administrations to use geospatial analytics to support the collection of property rate, which is expected to begin next month. According to the authority, this will complement the work of the digital address system in locating taxpayers and properties for taxation. Deputy Commissioner in charge of operations at the GRA, Daniel Edisi, explains to Joy Business that more taxpayers are moving online, hence the need to digitize the tax system. He spoke after opening the West African Tax Administration Forum training program in Accra. There is more in the following reports.
The use of geospatial technology in tax collection is new in Africa. Many communities were developed without such planning. In the case of Ghana, the recently introduced digital address system is seen as an innovative intervention that can support revenue mobilization. At the launch of the 3-day training on geospatial analytics for tax officials in the West African sub-region, Deputy Commissioner of Operations at the Ghana Revenue Authority, Daniel Edisi, disclosed that the technology will play a key role in the country's property rates collection system, which will be rolled out soon.
Basically to help us to get the locations of properties. So if you're able to do that, indeed it will help us locate the taxpayers and be able to reach out to them in order to help us in our revenue mobilization drive. So basically, it is to identify taxpayers, property owners, using data geospatial analytics. That's about it.
So does it mean that the focus is basically for the property rates?
Not at all. It is for each taxpayer that we can lay hands on, because even though we are shifting from mortar and bricks, which we are talking about e-commerce and things, but a lot chunk of our taxpayers belongs to mortar and bricks, and trying to locate them using data also help us to identify the taxpayers.
Training and capacity building manager at the West African Tax Administration Forum, Dan Asabi, explains the importance of such training to improve revenue mobilization.
Looking from the angle of the manager training, capacity is what we all need to have maximum optimum revenue in our region, West Africa, and in our various countries. So, geospatial analytics is something that will help us build this knowledge on the locations of our taxpayers and how well their businesses are growing. If you attend this training, you will see later on that you could even monitor the activities of taxpayers, how they are growing, and you also can even map out the revenue that is collected from any particular section or part of the country. So it's very important for revenue administration, and looking at most businesses are going digital. Tax administration also needs to follow suit to go digital. In fact, you need to go ahead of them so that you can maximize revenue from these digital services.
The move to use geospatial analytics is expected to boost tax compliance.
More in the technology space, former President John Dramani Mahama has promised a 5G revolution and artificial intelligence to fully unlock the potential of digitalization when he becomes president. According to him, his government will invest and leverage on digital infrastructure to expand and enhance productivity in the various sectors of the economy. The former president was keynote speaker at the 7th Ghana CEO Summit held in Accra.
As 4G network was introduced when I was president, it is my wish that the full rollout of 5G, the 5G revolution, and the full integration of AI as a facilitator for our productivity will happen under my next tenure as president by the grace of God. By investing further in digital infrastructure, as we did with the Accra Digital Center, the National Data Center, the Digital Terrestrial Television Network, by promoting digital literacy and by fostering innovation, we can unlock the full potential of our nation and seize opportunities presented by the digital age to enhance productivity and create high-quality jobs for our people. If with 4G internet, we have seen a transformation in digital broadcasting, the music, film, tourism, and sports industries, then I say, let us wait and see 5G. Technology has become a powerful tool, and we must restructure our nation in education, in business, in healthcare, amongst others, to be ready for this industrial change of man versus bots. Tech companies around the world, Apple and Samsung, whom I'll be visiting while in Korea, are making huge profits out of new technologies. Tech companies in our country may not be in the same category, but the potential for optimal productivity, profits, and employment remains very high.
Now, the German government has launched an initiative to support tech-related and innovative startups in Ghana. The Star Africa initiative, funded by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Climate Action, will help build entrepreneurs in the area for the German market. German Ambassador Daniel Kroll believes the initiative has the potential to improve the economic exchange between the two countries. Nana Yaojima was at the launch of the Star Africa Startup Germany Africa project in Ghana and has filed this report.
The initiative, being implemented by the Koblenz University, was extended to Ghana after a successful pilot in Rwanda. The partnership with the African Institute of Mathematical Sciences will provide aspiring local entrepreneurs with the modern innovative idea to compete globally. German Ambassador Daniel Kroll, speaking at the launch, assured his government's preparedness to aid in training the African youth to take advantage of global opportunities.
And in German industry today, there is a need of 400,000 qualified workers, labor, scientists, you name it, every year. 400,000. Today, the German embassy issues visa for qualified labor, or those who want to qualify, those who want to study. No, study is different, but want to have a training in Germany to qualify for these postings. It's 100 a year. So there's a huge gap. I'm not saying that Ghana will be able to fill all these 400,000, but I'm just saying is that there are very many opportunities. There are very good chances for those who would like to add to their career some international experience. And I think that is what Ghana desperately needs.
The program, being implemented by the University of Koblenz with some local partners, will take up 2 cohorts of entrepreneurs in a year. Each of the cohorts will spend 10 months in the incubation. Professor Harald von Kofflesch is head of the project.
The plan for the project is to prove that within 1 year we are able to apply for an entrepreneurship scholarship together with us, our support, for at least 3 to 5 student teams who have an idea. We call them global ideas, which could also fit the German market, and then we can apply together for the scholarship and hope that they become successful entrepreneurs in Germany.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education has reiterated its preparedness to partner the project in educating startups.
In more business news tonight, Chief Executive Officer of Global Ovations, Gideon Raji, has called on Parliament to expedite the passage of the Consumer Protection Law to empower, protect and enhance the welfare and the interests of consumers. He says this will promote a fair, transparent and efficient marketplace, as well as improve consumer awareness, education and information. He spoke to Joy Business at a national fast-moving consumer goods event.
I believe that the bill is basically to protect every consumer and also to also for consumers to be careful about what they take in, and for brands or producers, manufacturers to be careful about what they put out there. So I think it's in the right direction, but I think they have to work together with manufacturing companies. You just don't put a bill out there. You work with them, seek for their opinions, seek for their views, so that you can see that whatever that you're doing, it's working. The synergy needs to be there so that it will be a win-win for everyone. So basically, that's what it's about. As a sector within the industry, which is not, people don't, if you talk about FMCG product, people barely know about it. So basically, we created the National FMCG Summit and Awards to celebrate people or the marketers behind the brands we see. Many a times when we go to the malls, when we go to the shops, we find different brands. And this event has developed for them, dedicated to them, so that people would also have hope that, okay, these brands are quality. Where they win the award based on the quality and the innovations that they do. So basically, that's what they.
Now, industry is expected to benefit immensely as technology company Siemens enters into a strategic partnership program with the Ghanaian business known as Process and Plant Automation Limited, PPA. The agreement, according to Head of Partner Management, Andre Brits, makes PPA a solution partner in the Global Approved Partner Program. He disclosed this to Joy Business at the signing ceremony at the Automation Hub at Spintex here in Accra.
Technology company Siemens considers industry partners as vital in its global strategy. Process and Plant Automation Limited, PPA, which is the largest electrical engineering and automation company in the country, became the first accredited partner in Ghana for Siemens. Before announcing the partnership, Siemens South Africa considered PPA's marketing consistency, sound business framework, as well as vision for joint growth and benefit after months of evaluation. PPA, as part of the agreement, will benefit from skill development and training to meet industry demands, being fully equipped in the engineering space. Head of Partner Management, Siemens, Andre Brits, says digital transformation is crucial for growth.
Siemens is in the forefront of digital transformation globally. And obviously with that included and embedded in all our strategies. The industry in Ghana will, through PPA, be able to be exposed on a consistent basis to all the new developments and all the new solutions that are being made available globally. And Siemens will make sure that PPA is properly equipped and properly educated to be able to not only deliver but also to design and support these systems. Because digital transformation is at the forefront of growth. And globally, it has been proven that digital transformation excels the industry and it brings excellence into the products that's developed at better pricing, making companies more efficient.
With PPA being the only business among 7 to meet all requirements, Andre Brits is encouraging future partners to put their house in order.
So we have already looked in Ghana at 7 companies. And of all of that we had evaluated, PPA was the tops. This does not mean we will stop looking. We will continue looking because the industry is good and great. And there may be others that could also fulfill the requirement. However, our focus is now going to be to empower and ensure the success of PPA together with our teams. We call it a one-team approach. With PPA. That's going to be our focus. If others come along, we will do the evaluation again, and it's an opportunity for every company. And we really hope for Ghana that this partnership will encourage others to actually uplift to the level of PPA.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of Process and Plant Automation, Engineer Kweku Asma, says the partnership gives PPA wider coverage as had its impact on Ghana's economy.
Yeah, so the partnership basically gives us a lot of room and expands our coverage in terms of what we can do to support our customers. In the past, we have been supporting Siemens, but there's a limit when you are not a partner. There are situations where you need the manufacturer to step in to support your customer. That wasn't there in the past. With this partnership, what it means is that we're going to move into deeper areas and support our customers better. So for us, it's a good thing. It's going to enhance our growth. It's going to support our customers. Customers' trust would go up, and we would all succeed, and I believe Ghana would succeed. It enables us to provide improved services and faster services and at a cheaper cost to the customer.
With over 160 employees, PPA has in the last 2 decades delivered numerous electrical engineering and automation solutions for its local and multinational clients.
Thanks so much for watching Prime Business with me, Pius Kojo Baka. Pleasure serving you. You can always get business stories when you log on to myjoyonline.com/business.